Hey guys, Bubba here. While everyone's talking about war and nuclear warheads and the possibilities, I want to talk about some earth changes very soon. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video, talking about the earthquakes and the volcanoes and what's coming as we are getting closer and closer to 40 degrees on magnetic north. We're currently transversing about 5.25 to 5.5 miles per month. And we're estimated to hit that 40-degree mark in March through May of 2023, of all things. But we all know that the Earth has been changed throughout time, and while I don't agree with the million years ago scenario, I'm not sure because I was not there. And neither were you if you're listening to this. But guys, we know that there were all kinds of changes as the tectonic plates split apart. From the total pole shifts to what's coming in the future and melting the ice caps, we're all going back to the beginning, but let's find out more. Here we go. And yet the cycle continues over and over and over again as the Earth's windshield has been cracked with the tectonic plates. And as we're showing here in this video, they're going back in time to what it looked like, what they believe what happened in the Jurassic and Triassic Park time frame area. But as we go forward into time, the Earth splits apart again. But guess what? We're going to have a major remodeling job, many of them coming forward as we go forth into time. We're going to go back for the 1,000-year reign of Christ, going back to the time of Garden of Eden. Crazy times are coming ahead. Let's find out more. Guys, let's talk about Mount Vesuvius. We've just turned the corner, and I expect a huge explosive jolt along the Ring of Fire very soon. What follows is going to be many 7-point magnitude earthquakes and higher, along with the Vesuvius getting active again. Watch Iceland volcanoes, La Palma, Pele in Martinique. Also along the Ring of Fire, guys. It's going to get nuts very soon. But what about La Palma? Wasn't there supposed to be a tsunami? Isn't that volcano over? I don't think so, folks. Not by a landslide. Like a fresh wound that's easy to have the scab ripped off, this windshield has been cracked. And what's coming here very soon is going to be unbelievable, biblical in nature. Whether or not it's going to be a tsunami or an explosive, what's coming is just going to be unreal. There's a reason why they call these the end of days, the end of time. Bible prophecy is coming real, and it's coming to pass all over the world. So what about the volcanoes? Haven't they been bad lately? Guess what, guys? We haven't seen nothing yet. So as you guys can see, we haven't seen anything yet. And we know the Bible prophecy talks about never before and never will ever again shall be the things coming upon the earth. Men's hearts are going to fail them for fear, seeing those things which are coming upon the earth. And I love this example. This is from the TONGA volcano explosion that happened there in January, and how it rang all the way around the world. And the reason I'm pointing this out here is you take that and just put it a little bit west, and you have La Palma. And I want you guys to hear what this guy is talking about.
We are missing over half of the 7 magnitude earthquakes. When you go back in time, we're missing over half of the 7 magnitude earthquakes. So this is where the military Olympics ended. This is where Putin started the invasion. And now the whole world is focused on World War III that's trying to start. The whole thing's a false flag. So we're moving through the incubation period from here to here, about this line that's right here. So this could be the final line. That's what it's looking like right now whenever the black star interacts with the Earth. And then our Earth is tipped over like this. It's going around 1,000 miles an hour like this way. It gets tipped over because the ocean waters obey the laws of gravity. They're going around at the equator 1,000 miles an hour. But Earth metals are embedded in the crust, and whenever the black star comes near enough to us, it's going to wrestle magnetic polarity control from the sun, and magnetic North Pole is going to be repelled like this. So ocean waters piling up, ocean waters jumping over the Appalachian Mountains into Lake Erie, going up the sides of the Appalachian Mountains, the Rocky Mountains, like a gigantic bathtub. So no safe zones, no safe zones. That's why I'm sitting right here, northwest Arkansas, where there's caverns. The Ozarks, they're not too high. These mountains, too high, and there's too many nuclear power plants. These mountains, way too high. When the black star comes near, magnetosphere is fluctuating, not going out, but fluctuating. Then those of you that are in California, you're flatlanders like me in Florida, flatlander, and you try to run up into these mountains and the air thins, then you're going to perish. You cannot acclimate fast enough. Even just driving up through the mountains, you're going to be short of air. And then whenever the atmosphere thins even more, no. That's why the Ozarks, see, we're 1,000, where I'm sitting right now is 1,300 feet. So far from the coast, ocean water is not going to be able to affect me right here. On the North American Craton, 210, 220 kilometers deep. Crust out here, 3, 4, 5, 6 kilometers deep, up to 20 kilometers deep here. So it's paper thin. That's what we're talking about. So that's the geological pole shift that we're expecting. And you can see that there's a lot of new activity here that I'm expecting to go up into here. I'll show you that here in just a second when I get there. Okay, so this is where we are in the timeline. The next thing to realize is that we have a super plume. If there's a lot of new people, there's a super plume growing out of control in Earth mantle transition zone. This is a picture of it right here. These are the horn formations. Primary features are buoyancy barrier corridors. They're like arms of an octopus. And then the horn formations that are on top, hundreds of kilometers tall in some cases. Right? So you get these deep harmonic tremors like these right here. See them? Deep harmonic tremors. These things strike inside the transition zone. Sometimes you get 6.8 magnitude earthquake striking inside the superplume. Sends giant magma waves coursing through, pops those horns up, and it triggers these quakes like this one right here at the 10-kilometer depth, even like these. There's a pattern of them. When the horns get stuck in the up position, you don't get any quakes. That's been the pattern here lately. Now, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right now, we'd have these harmonic tremors. We'd have a scattering of earthquakes across these long buoyancy barrier corridors. But now, instead of having a corridor here, the superplume has grown bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's pushed all the way into the Atlantic Ocean, and now it's likely that there are no corridors anymore. The whole giant blob has just filled the entire transition zone. So the old patterns that I used to see, buoyancy barrier corridors, horns popping up, just not seeing it like we used to once upon a time. So go back over here to Earthquake 3D, these long stretches through here that don't have any quakes, even though you have a lot of harmonic tremors. It's because those horn formations have migrated north and south, and the waves that come off here, instead of being forced down a pipe, they're now going outwards like this. There are no more buoyancy barrier corridors. My old patterns aren't here anymore like they were. And so now what happens is these quakes strike and the waves go outward until they make a giant circle around our planet, and then they accumulate. See where these are down here? The antipode location is right here where La Palma is. So let's give La Palma just a little bit longer. I'm expecting to see more of these striking in this region, and then all of a sudden we're getting news that La Palma is coming to life again. That should be happening within a week or two. At the longest, it's going to be March the 19th, the longest, because we were at outside orbital position on August the 21st, 2021. La Palma started on September the 19th. So it's 2 days under a month. I expect that it's going to start sooner this time because the first breach is the one that's most difficult. It's like breaking a wound. The next time is a little bit easier, so it should happen before the 19th. We're going to count backwards because it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And so we're coming out of the Earth change low period. We're now the uptick period. And so it's from February the 21st until the 3rd. So, you know, the Earth core is heating up more and more and more as we get closer and closer to the black star. This is what the super plume looked like about a year and a half ago. Now it's full. And to give you an idea of what happens, here in the United States, you've seen this map before, haven't you? When that super plume grows to fill the entire transition zone and the black star gets closer, the super plume gets bigger, and then it pushes out of the transition zone and then pressurizes all of the magma that's supporting the crust. Now when that happens, it separates the tectonic plates, the 7 major tectonic plates and all the minor tectonic plates. And then the Earth is in a position with all the tectonic plates separated like the shell of a broken egg. And that causes, whenever the Earth tips over, all those horn formations are broken off, that magma from deep inside the Earth, the glassy type magma, rises up, pushes against the crust, and it creates a gigantic push, lifts all this up until the breach, and then everything collapses. When this section of the Earth tectonic plate network collapses, then it creates gigantic waves that rebound all the way around the Earth and cause this subcontinents to pop up. This can only happen when the black star is near. The Earth core is reaching super hot temperatures because of the black star magnetic portal connection. A little bit complicated to try to explain. But our Earth right now is being primed for a series of terraforming events. That's why you're being warned to get away from the coast, get away from the coast, get away from 200 nuclear power plants. Get upwind of them. The prevailing wind goes this direction. And since the prevailing wind goes this direction, you're not safe in this region. There are almost no safe zones in Canada because of this. We have to go far enough south to escape what's going to happen here. Pyroclastic flows, ash, dust clouds. Ash and dust that come out of here are going to go all around the planet and kill animals on the other side of the Earth because the magma coming from the transition zone is fine like baby powder and is silica based like glass. So when it hits moisture like what's in your lungs and the bronchial tubes, then it coats it, recrystallizes, and then breaks between your breaths. Inhale and exhale. You cannot breathe. 3 breaths, you're done. You can't breathe this stuff. That's why I'm sitting in Northwest Arkansas, because caverns are nearby. Thousands of caverns here. You have a chance to join a survival group, get yourself a cavern, have access to a show cavern. You have a chance to do something where you do not have that type of opportunity out here. And where they have, like up here in South Dakota, they have silos, empty missile silos that have been converted to survival. Some people are taking advantage of that, but that's not an advantage. Because when you're downwind of this and the wind blows this way, you could be buried under 20, 30, 40 feet of poisonous volcanic ash. And so you might be here a spell, let's just put it that way, before wind and rain and everything washes the place clean. And that's why we have to plan on the farther south you go, the better chance you have of being protected against this. And then being in a cavern environment with your survival partners, with your, your survival buddies, and your survival food, right? Your hydroponics program, you're growing catfish, right? You're growing food, and you're ready to be there for a spell, just in case the wind blows this direction. Type of situation. That's why I'm sitting here, and that's why my primary survival group is on the Arkansas side of the Missouri line that divides the Ozarks. There are two groups, survival groups up here, Chris's group and Ken's group. One's a homesteading group, if you're into that. And then there's a group down here along the Texas-New Mexico border. That's Linda's group. That's down here.
Guys, if you're interested in a survival group, get a hold of him. Terrell03.com. Let me know your comments below, guys. It's getting ready to get nuts. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.